Last Friday I serviced this silo, and while I was up there, the next door that got uncovered was coming apart. These original doors here are tongue and groove boards, and they're crisscrossed in 2 dimensions, and they're glued and stapled together. This silo here was built in 1983, and so these ones toward the bottom, get some moisture to them, are starting to come apart. So today there's a replacement door right there. They're now made out of 3/4 marine grade plywood and stapled and glued. But anyway, I try to keep a spare door on hand all the time, so that if I find a bad one, I can change it, because it's easier to change when you can stand there and unhook it, as you'll see in a little bit, than if you wait till it's above your head. And at that point in time, it's pretty hard to do. So we're going to run up there now and change that door out. And I stopped yesterday to get another door, and I didn't have one, so they're going to drop one off when they get one, so that I can get my spare door in place again. Turn the light on here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. We're not up there too far in this one anymore. We've been feeding out of this one all winter. And we're there. You knock on when it sounds hollow. You're there. Okay. First thing we're going to do is tie off here somewhere, so we don't lose a rope. That's a bad day when you have to go back down and get it. All right. You can see the door here. 2 boards have left. So we're gonna drag that new one up here. What do you say? Not quite ready. Easier than the last one. Last one we were about 10-15 feet higher. And we had one across the road on a little stave go bad too. Our silos, I think we got 5 of them. We got the old boy down where the Dunn SLR feeder is about a 1958. And then we've got a 1973, the hay silo. And then its next door neighbor is a 77. This is an 83. And then across the road, the heifer silo, this stave is an 81. So we got all different ages. But the important thing is not to fill your silo to where they get excessively juicy. Juice is your enemy. Juice eats the cement, eats the doors, just eats everything. So with our tower silos, we wait till our corn's a little drier. Guys with bunkers and bags, they can do it 68, 70%. But for us, we like 65 or a little less. Actually, when we start chopping, I try and find something really dry to put on the bottom for a sponge to soak it up. Put a couple loads of dry on the bottom and start going above it.
Okay, start pulling up.
Pull. Okay. Here we go. And you always want gloves on because that rope burns. This is sisal. I like sisal ropes. Nylon rope, you're slippery. It's like pulling on a banana.
Okay, you're grabbing the door now.
Alright, here we go. New ones are a lot heavier than the old ones. The old ones are half rotted away.
Hang on. Okay.
Go.
Yep. I might have to come up there and get that. Get that on. Come on.
Pull.
We're jammed in the corner. Hang on. Pull up some. My finger. Pull some more.
There we go. Now we're coming. Tricks to keep the rope falling inside. You want to eat your Wheaties before you do this. Success. All right, we're in there. Now I'll study how he did that so I can reverse that when I send one down. All righty. Now, get it oriented correctly. Use just lift off. Supposed to. Put silage out of the way. It hasn't been off for a while. There we go. Now we're getting there. This simply goes up, hooks, and slides back down. Like so. And hopefully I put the hardware in the right place. I always use the old ones to drill the holes for the new ones. Where is it at? Okay. Oops. Backwards. Orient the same way as the other one was. Like so, I think. Oops. Slide it right here. I think it's centered. Okay. See if we can get it out and down without falling apart.
Okay, so let her down. Okay.
All right. Guess we'll release the rope. It's taking care of itself. Gravity. Get out of there. Boy, that went pretty easy. If it fits. That's the next question. Let's see how she latches up. See if I did my job correctly. Just like the A-Team. Love it when a plan comes together. That made it look too easy, didn't it? Yeah, we've done a few dozen of these. Practice makes perfect. Some are easier than others. It wasn't too bad. Should have timed that one. The hard part's getting out the door. Nice warm day. As my clothes, you don't get stuck on everything. Yeah, you can kind of see the carnage a little better out here in the daylight. But yeah, it's firewood. There's one off the face too. So, yep, put this stuff away and go on to the next task. Today we're going to rebuild a shuck cushion hitch. This is the oldest of several cushion hitches we have on the farm. And they have these nylon things here, and according to the directions, these are they call bearings. And in between the bearings, there's supposed to be these things, and these are called cushions. When we took this apart, there was nothing like this. There was crumbs. So all there was is these, I don't know, hardened bearings. That's all that was left. So it really wasn't doing any cushioning. So we're going to attempt to put this together according to the directions. And so it says here that we should put grease on these, so I don't know if that's to make them slide on there easier, perhaps.
Probably.
Yeah, so I think I better get some lubricant before we begin. Everything's wet and sweaty today anyway, so it probably won't stick very good anyhow. This guy's pretty rusty. I attempted to sand it and make it smooth, but it's badly pitted from being on a truck run through the salt. Salt's our worst enemy. I personally think they should use sand and all the stupid people should go in the ditch. That's just me. That's what they do in Michigan. You can't drive up there and you're in the ditch. They use sand. And their vehicles are not all eaten to pieces. That's neither here nor there. Okay, I need a rag.
So, we need a cushion first.
Going this way.
Or not a cushion, a bearing, I'm sorry. Bearing first. Yeah, just tap it. It's against. And now cushion, taper facing down. And then
Bearing.
yeah, bearing. And
Cushion.
which way is the cushion? Go this way?
Same. Yeah.
And then a bearing.
I'm gonna have to put it in the vise or something.
It's gonna have to be something more
Solid.
secure.
This will get us started. That was really rusty initially.
One.
Slowly.
How do you like it? Because once we get in there, it ain't coming out.
All right. Well, that's the way it's got to be.
I'm not tall enough.
I'm gonna do it. I got to really breathe.
Well, we're getting a little smarter about things. That was not working. And we remembered we have a press.
Work smarter, not harder.
We're gonna try to not be cavemen today.
So I'm gonna have to have you build it up with some blocking.
Okay, what do you want?
Okay.
Just tell me what you want. You want. Let me get that out of the way.
I guess it could be flat.
Too much?
No, that's perfect.
I don't mind, huh?
Yep. Hang on to it.
Well, you're gonna stare at my back the whole time.
That's no good. We wanted to see what we're doing. That's better. Now you're not looking at our backside. Alright, let's shut. What side's the best one? Is that the best side, I think? Oh my. That's so much easier. It's like changing drill tires. So much better than the old one.
Do you see Sloan has now made a press for those?
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
So my idea didn't get patented in time, huh?
I guess not.
Somebody must have watched. They're booger. First
Yeah,
one?
there's some how you use an impact to put it together.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, the first few I did underneath the back end of a tractor, banging my head on the drawbar was not fun. Whoops.
It's really squashing that one cushion over. Maybe you should back off and just do that, or
Just put some more lube on it.
you got some PB or something.
Yeah, squirt some of that on there. Something to make it slickier. I'm not sure. Want to catch it? What's blocking it?
What we're contending with is we're trying to press this in here and everything's swelling, so we've made a lot of progress. We didn't film it. We had to take a welding clamp to hold these together to push them in because they just swell and try to push out. Now we're having an issue with this, what do they call that?
Bearing.
They call it a bearing. Having an issue with this bearing. You can see it's trying to kind of cut itself off, and we're trying to get it in there without ruining it, and that's proving to be difficult. It may have moved.
Felt like it.
I think it is.
Just needed a little persuasion. The other side's going nice, but this side here went cockeyed. It might just get trimmed a bit on the way in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This side's going down. Let's try pressing it again.
Just self-clearance, I guess.
Yep. This is a good time to look where, yeah, we
We're
got
about 1.5 inches, 2
a
inches.
little ways to go yet. We're pushing some crap out of the tube.
Yeah. I don't know where the pipe is.
You ready?
Yep. Well, after much time pressing that in, we're going to see if we can get this back in here. So this whole assembly slides inside of here, and it has a trip here because this tongue actually extends and swings. You can see these ears off to the side. You'll extend that latch on your wagon when you back up. These help guide it back in here, and then this latch with the springs will trip. But we're going to try to push that back inside here because this backing plate here with these bolt holes, well, there's one hole and the other hole is right there. Anyways, that seats in there, and then we use these bolts here. The Dad's putting some grease on right now, and we will sandwich this back together. So we're gonna see how well that'll go. This was kind of a stiff booger thus far. So we will see. These tapers, Dad, are they the same on either side or no?
Nope. And they've got to go like this so they can run the latch, right? Am I looking at that right? So when this goes forward, did I do that right? Or wrong? We're not in far enough for the bolts, are we?
We aren't. Well, see if you can start the bolt. You don't think so?
Maybe.
Where's the other bolt?
Boy, as hard as that was pressing, do you think it's going to break that trying to tighten them? I guess we'll try
What do you
it.
want to do?
Let's try it. If it gives us too much trouble, I'm not going to break the bolts off in there. We'll go back to the press. Those are 3/4. We'll probably want a breaker bar, I suppose. Got that one. I should have done this one first.
Oh, well. Can you turn it or no?
Yeah, I think I can. Like that way better. There we go. So, push down on this, pull out on this. You get in the truck and you're ready for coat of paint.
Yeah, that definitely was not that way before. Like,
No, it was sticking way out.
oh yeah, it was worn
Well, it was
bad.
gone. It was all crumbs.
Yeah.
Remember? Little crumblies.
We actually got this thing used. A friend of ours found it in a dumpster and brought it to us and said, "Well, can you use this?" And well, yeah, we can.
Took some work to get it to
We
work.
can- oh, yeah.
I had to pound the heck out of it. I think I used the Sawzall and run the blade back
Yeah.
in there to saw the rust out before I could get it free.
It was seized up and it had a different style mount on it. We actually welded this piece of
We made the
solid
receiver.
bar stock on there for the receiver. And
They sell, Shuck sells one like that. We just changed
Yeah.
the way it was made.
we have another one of these, a newer one that's actually on my truck now. That it's made just like this for your standard truck drawbar. So we just fabricated this one to be the same, and it like I said, it was in rough shape, and I guess I never knew how much cushion it should have in it because I never had one on my personal truck.
It
And
makes a difference.
yeah, well, that thing was beating the crap out of you at the end. I just thought, well, boy, it just really apparently rides that rough. But no. When I switched to the other one that we actually took out of the semi and put on my truck, boy, that worked out nice. But now we got this one cleaned up. Probably spritz some paint on it sometime once we degrease it and get it all prettied up. And then I guess we'll put it back on something, probably semi. And then we'll have another hitch ready to go. So I can promise you, unless you have a press, you are not doing that. We tried it with a hammer briefly. That wasn't going. And put it in the press and pressed it. And all of these, well, I guess I don't have any of them out here anymore, but I can show you on the picture.
The cushions.
All these cushions were trying to swell, whatever way, whether it be side to side or front to back, they were trying to swell. And so you had to either use a welding pliers or a hammer to squeeze it, or a C-clamp. We used a C-clamp and
To hold it straight.
yeah, to hold it straight so it could slide down in that tube. And it was quite the task. So like I said,
We made it.
if you don't have a press, I don't know how they expect you to do it.
I don't know how we farmed without that.
No. I never
It wasn't fun.
put one of these together before. I don't know, have you ever messed with one of them
Nope.
or not?
I knew you could rebuild them, but this is my first actual rebuild.
So,
She said it comes with directions, and they were in there, so you get it put together right.
well, there you go. I don't know how well it filmed, but that's how you put new bearings and cushions in a
shook.
a Shook 700-ton cushion hitch. So we're gonna put tools away and clean our mess up we made and move on to something else.
He has a wind.
Yeah, I'm glad that is reassembled and ready to go again.
The trick is to get that. I don't know, can you zoom in on this? There's a slot right here. You need to turn this to where this side of this link will go through that slot. That's the object of the thing. Without pounding your fingers. That's the objective anyway. So if I yell, you know I hit it.